Welcome to Mayor on the Mic with Marinette Mayor Steve Genisot and Ward 4 Alderman Mike Wolf. Join us now for a behind-the-scenes look at the real issues impacting the city of Marinette.
Time for another edition of Mayor on the Mic from Marinette, Wisconsin with our Mayor Steve Genisot. I'm 4th Ward Alderman Mike Wolf, and we're talking about a brand new development that is in progress right now. Steve Genisot, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, we're talking about the Maple Haven subdivision, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's going to be the former Fleet Farm property out by the Circle K on Highway 41. That's been a property that we've been trying to get developed for close to 30 years, 25 plus years, when Fleet Farm was going to come in. And Mike, I don't know if you remember back then, that was a big thing. They were going to come in and build in Marinette. They got the site all prepped, and I don't know what happened. I think they had a little disagreement on maybe some former administration of what they would and would get out of the project, but either way, it fell by the wayside. And I don't know if you remember that.
I do, and I would just like you to describe for our listeners exactly what will be developed in the future out there.
Well, we have a couple commercial sites, and if you recall, we had a small strip mall. I think the Verizon, or not the Verizon, but the T-Mobile is built in one of the end caps of the threeplex. And that was sold off. We sold that property. That was part of Fleet Farm. And then we've got a couple other lots that we can put some retail. But the back end is kind of a little more difficult. We've got some wetland area to deal with. But we could access that from West Cleveland. And the plan is to put like 25 single-family homes, brand new, homes for the city of Marinette, taxable base, down the road. So that'll be a positive.
Is there a time frame for when this particular development is going to begin construction?
Well, the developer wants to start this year. We're going to give him a little longer to get all the values in there, because he's got to build roads, he's got to put sewer and water in, all the sidewalks, lighting, and then dedicate that over to the city, the roadway, and then of course stormwater ponds. But it'll be a big development. We're talking probably close to $9 million of value, so it will be huge, and for the city of Marinette, and still have another part to develop on there. So great area of the community, centrally located, a lot of amenities, and then still kind of quiet in the back for housing.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. When we finish and look at this, access to that area, when you talk about the Cleveland access, that should alleviate some of the traffic problems that you might have occurring with a development of this size.
Well, we always felt if we could get a big to mid box on there would be best. Every place that is building now is building smaller, and they're not building in some of the secondary markets, because you've got a lot of stuff in Escanaba and a lot of stuff in Green Bay, and unfortunately, they don't want to pull from those two customer bases because we're not quite over an hour away. So the concern was, if we put a mid-box, what's that going to do for traffic around that 41 corridor? With the housing and maybe some smaller retail development, probably not as much of a factor. We're going to bring most of those folks for all the housing, and again, this is only 25 homes, back on West Cleveland, and there's a intersection there more than able to handle that amount of traffic.
I've heard a lot that this is one of the last areas of Marinette that really is available for this kind of a project.
Well, there's not a lot of vacant land to build on, and then we're challenged with wetlands everywhere, on especially the southern part of Marinette. We've got the bay on one side, we've got Menominee on the north, so you can only go west or south. So if you even looking at this property, you look to the west, it's pretty wet going that way. And we've got on this 26 acres, we probably have close to 10 acres of wetland areas. So we're trying to work around that and still develop. But there's a couple other areas of community that we can build. But for a large tract to build houses, it's challenging.
Is there anything else that you think our listeners should know about this development? Maybe a question or two that you've had from people that you'd like to address?
Well, they ask, how much housing do we need? And we talked 5 years ago of upwards of 800 homes. So we definitely need, single family, multifamily, mixed use. So we have all levels of housing we need. We still have some retail opportunity here. It is on a busy corridor. So we still have opportunity for both things. And we've taken a property that's been vacant for 25 plus years, resold the parcels, got all the city's money out of it, and then taxable value put on this property. So it's good.
For all the information, always listen to Mayor on the Mic. And don't forget, get some skin in the game. Come on to the meetings. Tell us what you think. We want to know what you want as a citizen of Marinette, Wisconsin. It's Mayor on the Mic with me, Mike Wolf, and our mayor, Steve Genisot. Thanks for listening.
Join us again next time for Mayor on the Mic with Marinette Mayor Steve Genisot and Ward 4 Alderman Mike Wolf.